Now we are going to see about Indian agriculture. That is the lesson from 10th standard, third lesson, geography. So, in the agriculture, soil is very most important natural resources. Now we'll see what is soil. Soil is the uppermost layer of the land surface. So it composed of minerals, organic matter, living organisms, air and water. Soils are generally formed by the weathering of rocks under different conditions. So in the soil there are the different kinds. So like 8 major groups of the soil, that is alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, forest and mountain soil, arid and desert soil, saline and alkaline soil, peaty and marshy soil. These are the 8 types of the soils. Through the India map, you can see where are these type of the soil can get it more. See in the map, I'll show you the map now. Now we'll see about the irrigation. What is irrigation? Irrigation means watering of agricultural plants through artificial means of water is called irrigation. That is watering of agricultural plants through artificial means is called irrigation. Being a hot country with seasonal and irregular rainfall, it always needs irrigation to carry out agricultural activities during dry period. So we'll see about the sources of irrigation. In what ways we can get water for the agricultural land. That is canal irrigation. 24% of the country is using getting water through canal. Then well irrigation. 46% of water getting through well irrigation. Tank irrigation. 3% of the water getting through tank. Then other sources 11%. Then other wells 60%. So through the other sources we are getting water nearly 11%. Then through the other wells we are getting water like 16% of the water. Now we'll see about the canal irrigation. It is the second most important source of irrigation in our country. So in the canal irrigation, there are the 2 types of canal irrigation. First one, inundation canals. Second one, perennial canals. So now we'll see inundation canals. In this, water is taken out directly from the rivers without making any kind of barrage or dam. Such canals are useful for the diversion of flood water from the rivers. So directly we can getting water through the canals. Now perennial rivers. These are developed from perennial rivers by constructing barrage or dam to regulate the flow of water. First inundation canal directly getting water through the canals, but perennial canals constructing dam or barrage, through that we are getting the water. Now about well irrigation. A well is a hole or trough, usually vertical excavated in the earth for bringing groundwater to the surface. Well irrigation is the most important source of irrigation in our country. It is a cheap, dependable and popular source of irrigation in the country. Well irrigation is unavoidable in the region of low rainfall. So in our country 46% of the well irrigation doing in the agriculture. So under the well irrigation there are the two types of wells, that is open wells, tube wells. Now we'll see about what is open wells. This type of irrigation is widely practiced in the areas where groundwater is sufficiently available. Then tube wells are developed in the area of low water table, sufficient power supply. Tube wells are predominant in the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, etc. Open wells you can see more in the Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri river, because where you are getting more water, that area can use open wells. But in the less water scarcity area, you can use tube wells. So Gujarat, Maharashtra, etc. are the places you can see more in the tube wells. Tank irrigation. In our country, only 3% of the water is getting through tank irrigation. So 3% water only you can utilize for the agricultural plant by the tank irrigation. A tank is a natural or man-made hollow on the surface developed by constructing a small bund around it across a stream. It is used to collect and store water for irrigation and other purposes. The tank irrigation is popular in the peninsular India due to some reason. So we'll see what are the reason is because of the tank irrigation is popular in India. That is first point. Natural depressions serve as reservoirs. That is through the reservoirs you can get water. Absence of perennial rivers, so we are not getting water in time. The scattered nature of population and agricultural fields. So in our country population is spreaded, and also agricultural fields also spreaded in our country. Not we cannot get in the particular area. The agricultural field you cannot see in the particular area. So it also spreaded. Now we'll see about the modern irrigation methods. Apart from the canal irrigation, well irrigation, tank irrigation, there are some type of the modern irrigation methods also using in our country. That is different types of modern irrigation. That is drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, rain gun irrigation, and central pivot irrigation. Now drip irrigation method. In this method, water is supplied in the form of drops through nozzles. Water can be saved up to 7%. Sprinkler method. It is the simplest and easiest method of all. In this method, water is supplied to the field from the source through the pipelines which have small holes. Then rain gun. Rain gun is used to spread water like rain. Central pivot irrigation. It is also called water wheeled and circle irrigation. It is a method of crop irrigation which equipment rotates around a pivot and crops are watered with sprinklers. So this is called central pivot irrigation. Now, multipurpose river valley projects. It means constructions of dam across rivers is aimed at many purposes. So it is termed as multipurpose river valley projects. So water is used for the different purposes. We'll see what are the different purposes. That is for the irrigation, hydropower generation, water supply for drinking and industrial purpose, controlling floods, development of fisheries, navigation, etc. For these purposes, water is saving in the dam or something or barrage, so we are using the water. So it is called as multipurpose river valley projects.